Most people think houses only creak because they're old, but in the town of Ravens, there's one house that creaks for a different reason. Because it whispers? And what it whispers are names. Names of people who disappear. Tonight, you're about to hear what happened to the last person who ever walked inside. And believe me, after this, you'll never ignore a sound in your home again. This is the house that whispers names. Eli Turner wasn't a brave man. He wasn't reckless, or curious, or the type who hunts ghosts on weekends. He was a delivery driver, a quiet guy, a survivor of routine, someone who knew every street light, every mailbox, every dog that barked at 2 a.m. But that night, the navigation app glitched. It sent him down a road he'd never seen. A narrow, crooked lane swallowed by oak trees that hung so low they brushed the roof of his van like fingernails. At the end of the road stood a house no one in Ravenshade talked about, not because they forgot it existed, but because pretending it didn't exist was safer. Its windows were dark, but not empty. The kind of dark that feels like it's watching you. There should have been no delivery there. Yet in the back of Eli's van, a single box had appeared in the compartment. Unlabeled, weightless, cold. Eli stepped out, breath fogging the air, tout was senti. Cold outside, and that's when he heard it. A whisper. Soft, at first, like someone exhaling against his ear. Eli, he froze. Again, a little louder. Eli. Turner, he swallowed hard and stared at the house. The whisper seemed to seep through the walls themselves, threading through the wooden boards, slipping through the cracks. Hello! He called out. His voice sounded small, swallowed instantly by the silence. That's when the front door creaked open. Slowly, invitingly. Inside, darkness so thick, it felt alive. Eli took a step back toward his van, then stopped. The whispering changed. It wasn't calling his name anymore. It was calling others. Names Eli recognized. People from the missing posters hanging downtown. People who'd vanished without a trace over the last decade. One by one, their names floated through the air like sighs. A roll call for the dead. Eli's heart pounded. He should have run. But a small voice inside him, one of curiosity, one of fear, whispered back, "What if they're still alive? What if they need help?" He stepped inside. The interior looked abandoned for years. Wallpaper peeling like old skin. Floorboards warped, dust floating in slow motion. Yet the whispering was clear. Sharper now, layered like many voices speaking from the same throat. Eli moved deeper, gripping the mysterious box. The whispers grew louder, circling him, and then the box shifted. Who slightly, like something inside had moved. Eli set it on a table and backed away. The top of the box peeled open. He didn't touch it. It simply unfolded itself. Inside was a cassette tape with a handwritten label. "Play me." Eli found an old tape recorder nearby, coated in dust as if untouched for years. With trembling fingers, he pressed play. Static filled the room. Then, a voice, a woman's voice. "Frifless, please, if you hear this, don't follow the whispers. They're not the voices of the missing. They're the voices of the house. It knows your name. And once it speaks it, you belong to it." Eli's blood ran cold. The whispers grew frantic, now desperate and hungry. Eli. He ran for the door, but it slammed shut. The house moaned. The floorboards pulsed like a heartbeat. Shadows stretched across the walls, reaching for him, forming shapes, faces, mouths that opened and closed like they were trying to speak. And then he heard them. Not whispers. Screams. Dozens of them, maybe hundreds. All muffled, all begging. They weren't coming from the walls. They were coming from beneath the floorboards. Eli dropped to his knees, pressing his ear to the wood. He heard pounding hands, fists, people trapped underneath. And then a voice whispered directly into his ear. "You're next." The house fell silent, and Eli Turner vanished, just like the others. 2 days later, a family passing through Ravenshade reported a strange package on their porch. No address, no return label. Inside, a cassette tape. On the label, "Play Me." And in the background of the recording, a whisper. Soft, slow, cold. Eli Turner, Eli Turner. As if the house was still calling his name. As if it wasn't finished. And maybe, just maybe, it's calling yours next. If stories like this keep you looking over your shoulder, then you're exactly where you belong. Subscribe to Haunted Minute for more real-time chills, unexplained horrors, and tales that follow you long after the video ends. Sleep tight if the house lets you.